So I had a call the other day. A contractor had me out to help him resolve a problem with high humidity in a house, and it led us to getting out the eye manifold, looking it up, and making some measurements. And I want to show you something that's really high importance if you ever get on a system that you're dealing with humidity. It's an issue, and that is, do you want to run the blower all the time? The customer had a brand new system installed, and a couple of things they did wrong. Number one was they were running the blower continuously, and they were doing it to filter the air, which was a good intent, but it was causing the humidity problem. I want to show you how that happens. So right here I got the system set up. It's really low humidity in our shop today, so I dialed the airflow way down. We're at about 124 CFM per ton, really low airflow, but I'm doing that to get some latent load here going. You can see we're pulling out moisture at about 1.93 pounds per hour, or about a quarter gallon per hour. And I'm going to go ahead here and shut off the air conditioning system, and I'm going to leave the fan run for a minute, and I'm just going to dial this fan back up so we got a little bit of airflow here. We'll open up the registers here, and I want you to watch what happens here, because right now you can see you know, our airflow is going to start climbing up here, and we'll start to see our targets change here. So our latent cooling is actually going down, which we expect to see when the fan cuts off. You can see that's dropping and dropping and dropping, so we'll give this just a couple seconds here to stabilize, and our airflow is starting to creep up where we'd expect it to see. And I'm probably just going to go ahead and lock this in here at 400 CFM a ton, just so it gives us a consistent measurement here. So I'm going to go into airflow, get rid of the estimated auto calculator for a minute, and just put in a standard 400 CFM. And actually this will be 600 CFM because this is a ton and a half. 400 CFM per ton, and then hit submit. Now we'll go back into performance for a minute, and we'll take a look at what's happening. Now if you look what happened here, our latent cooling has gone down to 0, right? We're actually not doing any latent cooling anymore, but we're still doing 99% of our sensible capacity. Well, how is that possible? Well, our temperature split's still 19.3 degrees, and we're at a target of 20.6, so we're only a degree and a half away from target, but we've essentially turned our air conditioning system from a mechanical cooling system to an evaporative cooling system. We're actually re-evaporating water back into the airstream at 6.5 pounds per hour, or 0.81 gallons per hour, and now this is turned from a dehumidification to a humidification process. We're adding humidity back into the air. When we add humidity back into the air, what's going to happen is we're going to end up rehumidifying the space. So what we're seeing is, if we go to our app for just a minute here, I'm going to just go back to iManifold. Down across the bottom here, I'm going to swipe to our probes. Actually, I'll show you this way, it'll be a little easier, going to wireless probes. You can see that our return air is going in at 70, coming out at 57, so yeah, we're getting this free cooling, free sensible cooling, but we're doing it by adding humidity back to the air. So what we have is latent heat conversion. The water in the coil is changing back to vapor, and we're getting this increase in relative humidity across the coil. And again, when we go back into this, when we take a look at our performance, we're evaporating this again about 3.19 pounds per hour, and down to about 0.3 of a gallon per hour as that water is evaporating off the coil. So you can see here that if you leave the blower run all the time, it can lead to some serious problems with rehumidifying the house. And if you're trying, like right now, everybody down in Florida, down in Louisiana, all these places just flooded. If you're trying to get the humidity out of your house, make sure you're leaving that fan off and allowing that water to stay on the coil. And the other thing that's happening here is really cool if you stop and think about it. Because we have this sensible cooling going on here, it's also keeping the system from running faster again. In other words, when the thermostat shuts off and it's just controlled by temperature, if we get free cooling and we continue to cool that air down by making our system an evaporative cooler, what's going to happen is we're going to prolong the thermostat calling for cooling again, which means that we're not going to dehumidify. So not only are we rehumidifying in sensible cooling, but we're prolonging the point to where we're going to dehumidify again. And all that water that's on that coil re-evaporated into your house, so not a good idea. So anyway, this is just a little quick demonstration. Thought it'd be interesting for some of you guys to see. Hopefully you're learning a lot about iManifold and what it can do for you and your business. This is Jim Bergman. Thanks a lot for watching.